So when looking for stuff for the Horrify.world editorial team to review, I sometimes find it hard to find a particular game or developer that would be a good fit for the site, because Steam doesn't exactly give you any company emails that you can easily contact people by. And some developers on Steam don't even have company emails or a Twitter or any way of contacting them. So sometimes I look on other platforms. And Itch is like a pretty good place to reach out to developers. But more recently I've been trolling subreddits because I figured that if people are on subreddits advertising their games, then they would probably appreciate some of the exposure that we can give them. And that's how I found today's game, Cut to the Core. So Cut to the Core is a little hard to talk about without A, spoiling it a little bit, or B, making it sound boring. So if you're already thinking about buying it just based on the footage you're seeing now, then do that. And let me know down below what you thought of it, and if you're not convinced yet, then buckle up. I wouldn't normally spoil anything in these kinds of reviews, but Cut to the Core does have a weird slow burn start that doesn't really start to hook the player until 30 minutes in. It is on purpose like that because it makes what happens later on oh so more startling when you're lulled into that false sense of safety because of it. But I can absolutely see how that slow burn start would turn someone off, because it almost turned me off. Anyways, the game opens up with our protagonist Jack and his partner David discussing a business deal that doesn't seem like it has quite been as successful as either of them would have hoped. And when Jack heads home and greets his wife and she asks him about the deal, he lies through his teeth, and then they get it on to celebrate. Later they host a celebratory dinner party for all of their friends, and David, Jack's partner, has brought his sort of girlfriends, and she spills the beans at the dinner table that the deal didn't go through and that none of them are rich. Sophie, Jack's wife, rightfully freaks out over this, as she has, in classic toxic relationship style, put her own life and career on hold to support Jack in what is apparently not his first, second, third, or maybe even fourth business venture. They have a huge fight, and a few days later Jack goes to see his Dr. Lacey, who was also at the party and who saw the whole thing go down. Jack is here for a checkup, but Lacey has other plans, and she sedates him, tortures her doctor's office, and then we later learn that she also manages to fake Jack's death. What unfolds from here on out is a now one-legged Jack's harrowing quest to escape his near prison in Lacey's basement. Meanwhile, all of his friends and family and enemies deal with his demise and their understandably complicated feelings for him. And it's a wild, wild, wild ride. If you have functional vision, then you're probably wondering, why does this look like a comic book, and what exactly does it play like? And the answer is, it doesn't. You can click through every line of dialogue if you want to, but I don't know why you would. I put the game on autoplay and then I just sat back and enjoyed a really good story that's like reading a comic book, but a lot more immersive because you have little motions here and there and you have a brilliant soundscape. I've been purposely vague on the game's story, and that's on purpose. It's a little slow to start, but it's absolutely brilliant. If you're not sensitive to body horror, you have to play this and you have to see where this story goes, because trust me, you have no idea. Whatever you think this crazy lady is gonna do to this man, it's not that. And experiencing a story that you don't know where it's going, like you know so many other stories, that's a refreshing and unique experience, to say the least. Is it worth it? Yes, unequivocally yes. It's not a game, it's a motion comic, and it's great. It's something like $4 and it's 2 to 3 hours of entertainment. And it's gonna tell you a story that you won't see anywhere else. And if you're even remotely interested in those old pulpy horror stories, Junji Ito, or want to know what those kids' horror shows from the 90s like Tales of the Crypt or Are You Afraid of the Dark would be like if they were made for adults, then you have to check out this game, and you have to give the developer your money so they can keep making more. Since I played this game, I've actually tracked down quite a few other motion comics, like Cepheus Protocol and My Cohesa. The last one being interesting because it's not like if Junji Ito was an American that made motion comics, it's just what if Junji Ito made motion comics, because it's actually like doing a lot to emulate his style, and it succeeds for the most part. What confuses me though is why is there not a hub for these kinds of things that's separate from itch and Steam? Why haven't someone made a platform for motion comics? Because I have never heard anyone say, oh yeah, motion comics, those are bad. To the contrary, I have heard a lot of people praise motion comics because they are that little bit more immersive, and they are, I don't know, a little bit more relaxing to enjoy than a regular comic book. And especially today when we often read on our screens anyway, it just makes sense to have something that auto plays and also makes use of what a screen can bring to the table, right? I like most other people, really enjoy sitting back and just enjoying a good story that's being shown to me without the pretense of it being a real game like visual novels often do. There has to be a market for this, and if anyone wants some unsolicited business advice, it would be to, start a hub for motion comics, because I think that could be like a fairly lucrative business. Like a Netflix, but for motion comics, yeah. Yeah, anyways, until I see you again, from all of us here at horrify.world, take care and good night.